Hello, all my friends. Welcome back to The Witch and the Black Cat. This is chapter 2. If you have not read it, please go read chapter 1. And I hope you really enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you. Let's get started. Chapter 2. A fresh start for him. His name is Adrian. He is the son of King Gabriel of the shape-shifting wild Lycoi. The original Lycoi breed has long been extinct after a horrible accident. Luckily, a past ancestor had escaped with very few others during the incident, and finding themselves overseas, met a pack of werewolves. After many generations, the breed was now part human with some werewolf-like features that could shift into a harmless-looking little cat. Being a prince, you would think Adrian had the best life, and everything he ever wanted. Boy, how wrong that is. Adrian was a prince, yes, but he hated the way his life was. The only happiness in his life had disappeared many years ago. His beloved mother, Emily. She had come down with an illness that they couldn't cure, and she had ultimately passed away. His father had taken her death very hard, and in turn made a lot of new rules for Adrian, saying that it was all to keep him safe. Adrian was not allowed to leave the castle, and anything he needed came to him within the castle walls. That included tutors to teach him. It made for a boring and lonely life, or so you would think. Adrian always had to look and dress in a very upper class kind of way, with his hair brushed but still a bit mangy, his fangs sharp as always, and his usual black suit. His suits were all black with a dark gray vest and always had a thin black tie. His always present black Lycoi ears, black gloves that fit over his claws perfect, with an all-black mask always hidden in his suit pocket that he only wore on chances he was to escape the castle so that others would not recognize him. He didn't get many chances to leave the castle because he always had to do so when his father and his assistant were too busy to notice him gone. It wasn't but a few months ago, when his father started becoming more and more busy, that Adrian started sneaking out more often. During his first month of sneaking out of town, he noticed a lady who would only come to town maybe once a week, and she never saw him as she always looked like she was deep in thought. One day, after she had passed by with that same look in her eyes, he had decided to follow her while thinking, curiosity might have killed the cat. Ha! As he transformed into his little black cat self to follow without people thinking he was a creep. To his surprise, she went into a very well-known shop, hearing her open the door and saying, "Hello, Zoe! I'm back with more clothes to put out." While hearing her voice for the first time, his heart stopped. Then, taking a deep breath, his heart restarted at a higher speed than normal. What just happened? Why is my heart pounding in my chest? He asked himself. As he sat watching the door open again and the lady walked out, he couldn't do anything but freeze and watch her. He watched as she walked towards him and then passed. At that moment, he turned and followed her, wanting to know where she was going next. After that day, Adrian snuck out of the castle daily, waiting for her to appear again. A month of sneaking out had led him to figuring out her schedule. Then he would only sneak out on days he knew she would be in town. With knowing her schedule, as soon as he heard the door open and her walk out, he would then disappear into an alley that led to the edge of town and the woods. There he started sitting, waiting for her to walk past. After a week of doing this, she finally noticed him sitting there in his cat form. The next week, she started petting his head right behind his cat ears. The first time she went to pet him, he thought, "How degrading!" But as she started petting, he then interrupted his own brain, thinking, Who is this lady, and would she marry me? It's safe to say he thoroughly enjoyed not only seeing her, but also her scratches on his ears before she set off into the woods. Thank you for listening, friends. I really hope you enjoyed this chapter 2 of The Witch and the Black Cat. I do have an AO3 account where I believe I'm up to chapter 5 on here, and it's under my same name and profile picture if you want to go head over and check that out as well. I hope to have chapter 3 in audiofic form out hopefully next week. So again, if you haven't listened to part 1, go check out part 1 and come back for part 3. Thank you, friends. Bye.